Horror of Dracula, also known as just plain Dracula in its native England, by Hammer Studios. This is the first color Dracula adaptation, and we're not even like 10 minutes in, and we already have blood! Whose blood is it? Christopher Lee is our Dracula in this film, and he does a fantastic job. He oozes seduction and charisma, and that voice of Christopher Lee.
I am Dracula, and I welcome you to my house.
And when he's mad, he becomes just this beast. Lee's in really good shape in this film. He's always running around and strangling people. Peter Cushing is the best actor to ever play Van Helsing. He's got this suave, sophisticated charm, and that voice.
This is not Lucy, the sister you loved. It's only a shell, possessed and corrupted by the evil of Dracula.
Michael Gough is our Arthur Homewood. He does a good job. For those who don't know who he is, he's the guy who played Alfred in Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. And this film uses a lot of garlic, that's nice. But of course, there's always adaptation differences. Jonathan Harker is not trying to sell Dracula real estate. Instead, he applies to be Dracula's librarian. And he already knows that Dracula is a vampire and he wants to kill him. But Dracula gets to him first and turns him into a vampire, where he's later staked by Van Helsing. So there is no traveling to Transylvania. I guess we're just in London. It's meant to be Jonathan is engaged to Mina and Arthur is married to Lucy. But in this film, they swap the girls around. So Jonathan is engaged to Lucy and Arthur is married to Mina. And Arthur is made into Lucy's brother? Why? In this film, Dracula does not shapeshift whatsoever, and there's even a scene where they said, oh, Dracula turns into a bat, that's just a common myth. Dracula is not revealed to be the carriage driver that takes Jonathan to his castle. There's no, listen to them, children of the night, what music they make. I guess someone watched the Turkish version because there's only one vampire bride, and there is no Renfield. What gives? Even Nosferatu had knocking around. Dracula is killed when Van Helsing tears the curtains off the windows and he gets hit by sunlight. And we do actually see him decomposed into dust. There are some shots of his face decomposing into dust that were somehow found in Japan of all places, even though this film was filmed in England. And I think they're still lost, or they're still working on restoring them and getting through all the legal bullshit. It's inaccurate to the book, but this death is pretty cool. And despite all these variants from the book, this is still a really, really good vampire film. The sets are absolutely gothic and beautiful. If I could kiss a film set, I would kiss these. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee are icons for a reason. They are perfect in their roles. Christopher Lee does a fantastic job as Dracula. I restate this because apparently I'm not the only one who thinks so, because Hammer kept calling him back for the sequels, out of which he's only not in 2, and the ones he's actually in counts up to 7. Then he was also Dracula in some unrelated to Hammer films, like 1970's Count Dracula, soon to be reviewed. He had an uncredited role in the Jerry Lewis One More Time from the same year as the last one, starring Sammy Davis Jr. Peter Cushing was also in that movie, that as Dr. Frankenstein, but that's a story for another review. And then in 1976, he was in a French comedy called Dracula and Son. In total, Christopher Lee is the man who played Dracula the most, 10 times. Bela Lugosi the person that everyone thinks of when they think of Dracula, only played the Count twice. 3 times if you count the model that's in Dracula's Daughter, and a few more times you count stage and generic vampires that aren't Dracula.